name is Emma Draves. I am a sponsored artist with High Concept Labs from spring and into summer 2017. I applied for High Concept Labs sponsored artist program because I had previously been down several years in a particular research pattern and wanted to work with new material, to work with new processes, and kind of examine new vocabulary. So we've been working on this project for almost a full year, and High Concept Labs was really important in giving us space and time, and we did several in-process showings for them and in other places in the community. And then we've been building the different pieces and different materials into this evening-length work. The piece is entitled Listen. It is organized around spaces that we're sort of have to take part in out of whatever obligation but aren't necessarily invited into. And so those sort of stories helped shape the movement that came out of it. And then we also had some very specific, we have the boxes, so there's very literal definition of space. And then we've more recently sort of built in lights to allow the shadows to come into a part of the narrative and the body to be pieced out in different ways. And so that became this kind of subtext for this work. And then also, in addition to those more individual approaches to the narrative, we have this duet that kind of builds in its intimacy. And that was a project of how do you build a duet that becomes intimate, that is still exists outside of the sort of heteronormative concert dance traditions of having two bodies dance together. It was a really sort of rich investigation of building movement material. There's this kind of really lovely thing that evolved because of the personalities, I think, of Andy and I. We have these kind of independent personalities, and we also have a good collaborative relationship. And because of that, there are these sections that were dancing together, but you could see them as intimate ways that are both platonic and maybe more different or beyond that. As far as dance goes, I think the sociology, the anthropology, the ethnographic way of looking at things really comes into play with my interest in individual dancers. That I don't want to make work where I'm asking people to come into the room and just do what I tell them to do. I'm interested in making work where the dancers have themselves are very present in the whole process, and it may not be necessarily about them, but their self is able to be realized through the movement. There's still a kernel of them still there. So then that, I think, interest is sort of built into how I became sort of interested in composing and choreographing my own work. I love the idea that work can really be accessed from multitudes of standpoints, and I would just hope that audience can find something that sticks with them, that they're still thinking about tomorrow or maybe next week. What's been wonderful is that even though the sponsored artistship ended around last summer, we were still sort of within the umbrella, and there's still been opportunities to present work and to view work and see other people's contributions. And Billy often checks in just to kind of see if we need a rehearsal space when they have an open week. And so there's a real, there's kind of a lovely sort of pillow of not being just kind of left out in the cold to fend for yourself. But it's been really nice to have that continued connection through High Concept Labs.